Hello, my little ponies. Oh, wait, it's 1 p.m. I still have to give everyone their swords. Well, everyone except these two. Time to go give everyone some swords. Everyone is out at the beach today. At least most of everyone is out.
Good work.
He has a sword. He likes it! Or he's at least neutral to it. I'm not sure which. He likes a sword! So anyway, welcome back to some more Runes! I went to a fan expo today. Wasn't a big thing, just a little thing. Not overall much went on. Went with the family. We played some Azul. That was fun.
Ooh, Azul. There is no Dana, only Azul.
Yeah, my mom said that I should get her a copy for her birthday, and yeah, maybe I will. Look how she's just randomly just sitting there. I don't know what. It's just funny that the kid has a tail.
I see you're full of energy.
Yeah.
Jeez, hey.
Right.
Wait, that's what my character's supposed to be wearing? My character's still fully dressed. I don't have a beach day outfit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's being oddly loud for no particular reason.
Gee, hey.
Right.
Oh, you like to be loud.
Is something amiss?
Yeah.
Gee, hey.
Right.
So yeah, while Claire was spending time with her family, I was spending time with my mom. We were watching Breaking Bad. We're definitely not getting through this season before we have to return it to the library.
Jeez.
Oh, you've been watching it on rented DVDs?
Yeah, well, not rented, borrowed from the library, but
Yeah.
unfortunately there's holds on it, so we can't just renew it either.
Ooh, more people want to watch it.
Yeah. It's funny though, like we've had to renew like the previous seasons before, I think. So it's just funny that this particular season is so popular.
Is it not?
Yeah.
But
Gee, hey.
yeah, we're on season 4, so
Yo. Yeah.
Gee, hey.
Right.
Whoa.
Here, everyone who's in the middle of arguing with each other, have some swords. Why did not give you a gift?
Wonderful.
How do you do?
Wow, she got tan. So I've heard that there's actually a specific reason why humans like shiny things.
oh,
Because water is shiny, and humans need water.
That's awesome. Oh, off to work. Have fun.
Work hard, stay on guard.
How do you do? My stars!
Okay, seriously, what's with this? Wait, that's ambient sounds. Much better.
Wonderful.
Oh wait, no, I already gave her that.
Have fun.
Whoops. Oh well.
Still
Here's a
working
sword.
hard, I see.
Good work today.
Alright, where's the finals? You're coming, you're coming. You're still in the clinic. And you're still working. What else did I miss then? Oh well, whatevs. Eh. Here, catch!
You rang?
One,
Here's a sword. Go catch it.
Woohoo! My day is made!
So yeah, once again, tomorrow's going to be a busy day, and then there's Monday when I don't have D&D. So sometime over the course of the next week, I need to, should make cheat sheets for D&D goodness and all that stuff. So, wait, so I forget, did I send you the version of the character mini that my DM had designed?
Yes.
Hero Forge really is an interesting tool. Maybe if I had a 3D printer, I'd be more inclined to, toy around with it. Ah, Randolph. Haven't seen him around. There's just 5 more people I have to befriend better. Before everyone will be at level 5.
all right.
That'd be cool. And of course, I'm getting constant Discord notifications because you're chatting with the group about what the Archipelago's going on tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
There are how many of us doing this together? And how many games are we doing in total?
We got 1, 2, 6 people. Presumably, we haven't heard back from one person yet confirming that they're, with their current YAMLs. Currently, we are up to 13 games. So averaging 2 per person. However, one person might add in an extra one.
I know I'm doing 3. 2 of my games can only really particularly finish so much.
Stay on guard.
Oh my god!
And I'm doing 5 games, although one of them is just my automatic rats.
Oh god, so I take it you're not watching the stream, or else you would have reacted to that thing as well.
No, I'm paying attention to chat. I didn't actually realize you'd actually started streaming proper.
Am I streaming proper?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay, let's see if I can get it to happen again.
Working hard.
Try, it didn't happen. Wait, what if I do this?
Is something amiss? Is it not?
I don't know if you just have to, like, warp between uses, or what it is. Or you just need a loading screen or something. But when you, like, walk past a villager, they will say their greeting to you. But when there's a bunch of villagers in a small area, they will all say their greeting. No? Nothing? I have to go away somewhere first. Yeah, why couldn't I have bought that house? Oh well, whatever.
Is everyone just ignoring you or something?
No, it's beach day.
Excuse me.
So they're all out enjoying the water and stuff. Or so they say. They claim that they're out enjoying the water and stuff.
Well, that nine-tailed fox looks cute. Why are you hurting it?
Oh, you think she looks cute, do you? You see, actually, that nine-tailed fox is Misasagi.
Yeah.
You have to defeat the nine-tailed fox for the first time. Oh, she has fire resistance? Weird. Once you defeat the five-tailed fox for the first time, Misasagi appears. Because apparently she was corrupted and turned into the nine-tailed fox. But then the nine-tailed fox just continues to be around. And you get like 30 princess points for each time you beat it.
Why do you keep calling them princess points?
Because that's what they were in Rune Factory 4, and that's what I got used to them being.
Watering time. Ouch.
No, seriously, in Rune Factory 4, they were either prince or princess points depending on your character's gender.
Watering time. You're big and strong.
Imagine if they were always princess points, regardless of gender.
Oh, if only.
Everybody wants to be a princess.
Well, that's what I thought, but whatever.
Strong, okay?
So I've been playing a lot of Forge lately. I mean, hey, Magic the Gathering without having to deal with other people, it's great. And there are certain achievements on there, and of course I want to try to get all of the achievements. There are some achievements that you really need to specialize and just dedicate a game or multiple games to trying to get. For example, win a game on turn 0. Like, all of the achievements are tiered. So, like, the top... So, it's like, win a game by, like, turn, I don't know, 4 or something is the bottom tier. But then win a game with turn 0 is the top tier. So I built a deck to try to win on turn 0. Took me a few attempts to actually be able to do that, to get the right cards in hand. However, there are 2 other achievements that I feel like these are possibly the most difficult achievements, or at the very least the most tedious achievements. Win 100 games in a row, and win 100 matches in a row. Because typically a match is best 2 out of 3 games, so you would think you would have to, if you wanted to try to go for both at once, that you would have to potentially win 200 games in a row. But you can set matches to just be 1 game, so it's still win 100 games in a row. However, there are generic ones like win 1,000 games of Commander, win a whole bunch of games of Arch Enemy, or Vanguard, or Plane Chase. So you can do Commander, Arch Enemy, Vanguard, and Plane Chase simultaneously, which means you always start first. You have 60 life, they have 40 life, modified by your choice of Vanguard. Plus, you have a planar deck that you can design to be strictly beneficial for you, and a scheme deck that you can design to be strictly beneficial for you. So all you really need is turn 1, get Aetherflux Reservoir, bolt them for 50 to the face, and you just have to do that every game in order to win. Of course it's not. The most simple thing, and it can still take a few minutes, to get 1 victory. So I've just been passively working on that, and I can't go for any of like the other achievements. I think there's one other achievement that I still don't have. The Hellbent achievement, where the top quality is win a game with no cards in your hand, library... What's it? Hand, library, field, or graveyard. I know how to do it. It's just not something that's generally going to come up in an average game.
I hope it comes out okay. Watering time. I hope it comes out okay. Watering time. You're big and strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay.
Howie.
I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. You're big and strong, okay? Watering time. Watering time.
You're familiar with Humble Bundles, right?
Yes, I am.
Whatever Humble website will release like a discount, buy these 10 games for the price of like 2 or something.
Yep.
I did one forever ago now for a bunch of different... I think they're supposed to be like tabletop RPGs. Most of them make absolutely no sense, and it seems like a thing that a couple of friends put together. But there's no rules to it. Like one I have that's literally just like 6 very different character sheets. And that's it. I get points when I, like, perform a solo. Remember to include my friends. Like, once I get such and such amount of points, I can do an awesome solo. It's like, wait a second. You get points for doing the thing, but then once you do the thing, you get the points. What? It's like, I get points when I show up or disappear unexpectedly. Once I get enough points, I can disappear from the group forever and never be heard from again. It's like, geez, just tell that player you don't like them. So yeah, most of them don't make sense. Some of them are cute and interesting. This game takes place in your hometown. Is kind of eerie, but I mean, it seems fun enough that I want to try it. I tried to tell you about it, I remember. You need, like, a regular deck of playing cards and essentially a Jenga tower. And that's it.
Watering time.
And it's like the whole idea is that you tell a story together, and sometimes it tells you to pull out, like, a block from the tower. And if the tower falls, okay, you just lose. That's it, period. Done. Game over.
Grow big and strong.
No chance for recourse.
Grow big and strong, okay? Grow big and strong, okay?
But if you happen to pull all 4 of the 2s, before the tower falls over, you win, and that's it. So, you could very possibly win without ever having to pull a block out of the tower. Or, you could get all of the pull block out of tower cards, but even if you do, even if you wind up getting every single pull block out of tower thing, if you're just good at Jenga, you can still win.
I hope it comes out okay.
I think most of the cards don't have you pulling a block.
Watering time.
And like, I've seen some people do some pretty good Jenga.
Watering time.
You can totally pull like 20 blocks from a tower. And the game still isn't over yet.
Big and strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay.
So it's like, so it's really just, you know, you'd have to really mess up in order to actually
Big and
lose.
strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay.
But it's not, the story isn't really about winning or losing. The story is about
I hope it comes out
You know,
okay.
talking,
Hope
communication.
it comes out okay.
You stumble across the house of an old friend the 2 of you used to share. Describe that friend. If you decide to go into the house and find their dog, pull a block out of the tower.
Watering time.
And there's a note at the beginning. It's like, oh, make sure to keep careful, make sure to keep careful track of all of, like, the stuff you find along the way that you can, like, put into your inventory.
I hope it comes out okay.
But other than that dog, and I think one mention of, like, medicine,
I hope
that's
comes out
it
okay.
for stuff that you can find. Unless you're supposed to make up stuff while you're telling your stories.
Strong, okay?
And then add the stuff that you've made up to your inventory. But then there's nowhere where you can, like, use it. Like, pull a block, unless you have medicine.
Nice. Grow big and strong, okay?
Like, there's one card that's like, you decide to retrace your steps for the first time. But you could absolutely just pull that as the very first card.
I hope it comes out okay.
Like, it's possible. Like, less than a 2% chance. So it's like, it's a very interesting idea. It just seems a little bit potentially underdeveloped. It's very player focused. That's the thing. Different tabletop games can either be more player focused or DM focused.
I hope it comes out okay. Oh, right.
I think I heard about,
I hope it comes out okay.
like, a lot of people only play D&D because it's possible for D&D to be very DM focused, for the DM to basically just play the player's characters for them, and they just, like, respond with a grunt every once in a while for what they want to do. Or I loot the room. Okay, you're gonna have to make a search check. Or I can make that search check for you, I guess. I have your modifiers here.
Watering
You find such and such and such items. Okay, cool. I put them in my bag. Yep, I'm writing them down to put into your inventory. I attack the monster. Of course you do. I'll roll your attack and damage for you.
I hope it comes out okay.
What's a popular tabletop RPG that's where the players have to make lots of choices? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess technically Shadowrun. In Shadowrun, the players... in Shadowrun, the players can spend 4 or 5 hours planning for the mission that they are going to pull off before actually doing it. If you get bored easily, that's not really the game for you.
I hope it comes out
Shadowrun has a lot of really neat mechanics. 90% of them are useless because they don't, like, basically ever get used in a run. Ever, period, ever. It has pages and pages on, like, flaws you can take for your character.
watering time.
You know, to try to build around them and stuff.
Grow big and strong.
Most of them, if you try to use them for a game, experienced players will call you an absolute moron.
Grow big and strong, okay?
And it's like, okay, well, why do these flaws exist if we're not allowed to use them? Oh, you can use them. Okay, cool. I want to make a character that uses this flaw because I've never seen someone use this flaw before.
Right.
And if it exists, surely it exists to be used. This is the player's handbook, not the Dungeon Master's handbook. The stuff in here
I hope it comes out.
should be possible to be used by players. I want to use this because I haven't seen anyone use it before. Oh, well, no one uses it because it's stupid and no one could ever possibly use it. Well, actually, you could use it, but you can't. Like,
Grow big and strong, okay?
the flaw, for the record, is world famous.
Okay?
Making a Shadowrunner, you know, basically, you know, criminal, whatever,
Grow big and strong, okay?
whose day-by-day persona is, you know,
Strong.
famous around the world.
Grow big and strong, okay?
You meet face-to-face with anyone when you're not in disguise, there's a good chance they'll recognize you.
Watering time. I hope it comes out okay. Grow big and strong, okay? Watering time. Watering time. I hope it comes out okay.
Apparently, putting on a disguise while you do shadow runs is physically impossible for someone who's No, that's not it. It's actually literally impossible in the world of Shadowrun for someone to be world famous.
Big and strong, okay?
Apparently, that's what I was told by everyone in the Shadowrun Discord, that it is literally impossible for someone to be world famous because a corporation would snag you away, and you're not allowed to be world famous if a corporation has you. They would use you for all of their advertisements and somehow make you less famous than world famous. You'd fade into obscurity in some countries because some corporation would take you. It's like, okay, well, either A, is there any way that a corporation could, you know, take the character and for them to still be world famous? Apparently not. Okay, B, is there any way for the character to be, like, hidden enough away that a corporation wouldn't be able to track them down while still being world famous? Apparently no. If a corporation wants to do something, it'll always get it done. Except when Shadowrunners are trying to stop them, then Shadowrunners get the lead.
Big and strong, okay?
But if a corporation wants you, they are going to get you no matter what. There's no possible way to get around that ever, period, ever.
I hope it comes out okay.
Unless, of course, the Shadowrunners want it more. In the player's handbook itself, one of the, like, what, 5 races or whatever
Comes out okay.
is essentially banned at every single table, and I still don't know if it's because it's too good or because it's too bad. All I hear is that it's broken, so that makes me assume that it's really good, but then all everybody ever says about it is that it sucks, which makes me assume that it's really bad.
Watering time.
So it's like, I don't know, if it's bad, I'll still play it for the fun of it, and if it's too good, okay, I understand. But then why does everyone say that it's terrible, horrible, garbage if it's too good?
Watering time.
Like, it doesn't sound so bad. You get flight. You have flight and magic. How could that be horrible?
Watering time.
It's the pixie race, by the way.
Big and strong.
Shadowrun
Claire,
has
I just
pixies.
Sorry. Random other thing aside, just with your archipelago thing, just did a test generation here, and there's an issue in your YAML. I just want to be sure here.
Strong, okay?
How I did find the issue. You did want it to always be the number of floors you need to reach is random low,
Strong, okay?
Yeah,
and you want
random.
no chance of it being all the way to 25.
Yeah, no chance of it being all the way.
Okay.
I think
Looks
I
like
can
you
only
need
set
more-
it to 25 or random. Otherwise, I'd
Well,
set
yeah,
it to like 10.
Well, I mean, minimum value is 11.
Oh, otherwise I'd set it to like 11.
You want to set it to 11?
Yeah, just make it decently short.
Big and strong,
Okay. Yeah, because it looks like you'd left in like the default of 25, but you left that area blank when it needs to see a 0. Otherwise, it
Where?
doesn't
I
know
thought
how
I
to
put a
interpret
0.
it.
Comes out okay.
All right.
Watering time.
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
Big and strong.
Yeah, just figured, you know what? I'll better run a test generation now, just to be sure I can actually,
I hope it comes out okay.
make the whole thing. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I told my brother
Wow.
about archipelagos and how he should totally learn how to do Undertale in a randomizer.
Go big and strong, okay?
It could be fun to
Watering time.
yeah, do some OT. Little brother playing some Undertale, whatever. And then we just have a rat. Just also there.
Watering time.
Yeah, speaking of, I'm thinking of maybe taking out my rat, just so I have 4 things, so I can easily put them all on my screen. I mean, it's a pretty good reason to remove one. Plus, also, I mean, it literally does everything on its own. So it's like,
Yes. Again, the rat is good if you want to emulate having an extra player. I think 6 is enough players. I feel like. Where we don't necessarily need to emulate having a 7.
yeah.
I hope it comes out
So
okay.
did you ever actually do that thing where you had 8 rats going at once?
I did have 5 rats going at once.
1, 2.
I thought you'd sent in a screenshot that just showing like 8 rats at the same time.
No, it was 5. It was 5.
Oh.
Hope
5.
it comes out okay.
I actually posted it on, like, in multiple places that of people that might appreciate it. And they're just like, oh, look at them go.
Hope
And
it
then they,
comes out okay.
weirdly enough, people like apparently started betting on which one would win. Keep in mind, I posted it after the whole thing was already done. And then we're betting on who would win.
Oh gosh. I still want to do that thing where I just have 4 copies of OOT going at once. Non-entrance randomizer. And I just have my one controller hooked up to all 4 at the same time. And I just run 4 games simultaneously.
I hope it comes out okay.
Of course, I'd had that idea back when I could do button inputs when the game window was not active. But now the game window has to be active to register button inputs, so that probably wouldn't work anymore. I'd have to fix something or other in the settings, don't know what.
Big and strong, okay? Watering time.
Yeah, Shadowrun is... I tried to play it for a few months. It's complicated.
Watering time.
Maybe it'd be better if I had, like, a regular group to play it with and I wasn't doing it West Marches style.
Strong, okay? Go big and strong.
I think definitely part of my issue was doing it West Marches style, because it's like, hey, like, my character, tries to do, like, sneaky thing. I have, like, 16 dice in sneak. That's, like, the most that you could have for a starting character.
You're big and strong.
And then the
okay?
DM is like, oh, well, I'm gonna go with, like, so-and-so because they have 32 dice in Sneak because they are not a starting character. It's like, why go for the level 1 rogue when a level 15 rogue is willing to join the party, you know?
Watering time.
Like,
I hope it comes out okay. You're big and strong, okay?
oh, you have, 16 dice to your melee attacks? Okay, cool. I'll go with this half-ogre, level 17 fighter who has, like, 40 dice to their melee attacks.
Watering time.
Like, there's no possible way I could possibly compete
Watering time.
with these characters. But I have to, otherwise I just don't play, and then what's the point?
You're big and strong, okay?
And at one point, yeah, I did just stop.
Nice.
It legitimately got to the
Big
point,
and strong, okay?
because, like I said,
Comes out okay.
you have to plan for the,
Comes out okay.
heist for several hours, apparently, before just doing whatever the thing is.
Hope it comes out okay.
And my character wasn't one for helping to plan the heist, my character is one for helping to do the heist.
You're big and strong, okay?
So I join in these games, and then go and do, like, was it Fitboxer? Essentially Beat Saber. For 3 or 4 hours.
Watering
Stand there at my computer, or, with my back to my computer, just doing basically Beat Saber on mute for hours. While waiting for everyone else to just come up with a plan. And my microphone was on. I could totally help out and give ideas for plans. Every single idea I ever gave for a plan, ever, was a bad idea and should not be done.
Time to eat.
In all of the sessions of
Watering time.
that I had done,
Watering time.
I'd only had one good idea for a plan, and that wasn't even an idea. That was a thing that my character just did anyway. That turns out didn't actually need to be done, but since I had already done it, it was too late for them to stop me. And that was just stealing a guard's keycard well before the heist. Yeah, that one was a really weird one. We were hired to break into a place, not to, like, actually steal anything, but to test out their new security system.
Big and strong, okay?
So we had to, like, sneak in and then, like, basically just, like, leave a note or whatever in the main vault. It's like, hey, we broke in, your security sucks. We succeeded, by the way. I think we also, like, stole one of the vehicles out of their garage to make a joyride away. We had to give it back, but it helped drive the point in that they needed better security, so now the next group that goes in and tries to heist for them will have slightly more trouble. But hey, at least we got a few monies for our effort. And speaking of money, the West Marches whole thing was, like, essentially in real time. So every month of real world time, you had to pay for, like, your character's rent. So you had to go on multiple missions a month just to pay for your character's rent.
Watering time. I hope it comes out okay. Alright! Watering time.
So if, something happened and you did not get accepted on even a single mission for an extended period, oh well, your character gets thrown out. Sucks to be you. Yeah, I'd be down for learning Shadowrun again and playing with, like, a designated group, as long as the group is actually good. I think I told you the horror story of the first time I tried to play Shadowrun.
Oh,
Uh,
maybe?
how tall is the average room?
Time to eat.
Let's say a hotel room, to be specific. How tall is the average hotel room?
I'd imagine, like, the ceilings are probably, like, 10 feet high?
Okay. 10
10
feet.
to 12?
That's a reasonable estimation. Do you want to guess?
10. 10 is probably more accurate. Anyways, go on.
Alright. So, in the world of Shadowrun, there are orcs that are about 9 feet tall.
Ah.
So, how tall would you imagine the hotel ceilings to be, considering that there are people who are 9 feet tall?
Oh, you definitely want to have them closer to like 14 or 15 feet tall then.
Okay. Double it? Yeah, the DM said that the average hotel room was 10 meters tall, and said that orcs were 9 meters tall.
I think your DM doesn't know the difference between feet and meters.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that to them, yes. The average hotel room, yeah, that's 30 feet tall. So my character was on the balcony of a hotel room. Something inside the hotel room had scared them, so they had to run away. Failed their fear check, had to run away. The DM said, oh, it makes more sense for your character to run out onto the balcony, climb all the way up to the roof, use the stairwell to go all the way down to like the ground floor, and then run out the front door. If trying to put as much distance between, you know, themselves and this ghost fear thing, whatever, as possible. It's like, what makes more sense, we're on like the 3rd floor. It's a 20-foot drop down to the ground. I've read the fall damage of this. That's nothing for my character. It's like 2 damage and my character's like 8 health. Like, it's like nothing. It would make more sense for the character to jump off of the balcony and then run away. No, but if you jump off the balcony, that's 90 feet off the ground. You would take 9 damage and die immediately. It's like, do you not know how numbers and math and balconies and rooms work? And then I think the entire rest of the session was me arguing about how amazingly stupid it is for, you know, 1 meter tall humans, approximately 1 meter tall humans, to try to live in the same world as 9 meter tall orcs. Like, okay, so 6 foot tall is, you know, it's getting to be about average height for an adult. Not quite, but, you know, approximately. So imagine that there were also, like, fully adult, like, proportioned people that were, how does it calculate down to? 8 inches tall?
That.
Is that the proper comparison here? You know what, let's pull out the calculator so I could be properly accurate here. So 6 feet, approximately 1/9 as tall.
Yeah, you're right, 8 inches. Yeah.
8 inches!
You were dead on, actually, yeah.
8, so imagine
I hope it comes out
if,
okay.
and I mean, truth be told, that, yeah, average, whatever, the numbers would be a bit skewy. It'd be really in the ballpark of like 6 to 12. But still, if we as humans also lived with other creatures that were also alive and sentient and, you know, humanoid, proportional, not just like, you know, undeveloped baby. It was just 8 inches tall, and that was like a full adult. And that was actually the majority of the population. Was like 8 inches tall.
You're big and strong, okay?
Like, just,
You're big and strong, okay? I hope
yeah.
it comes out okay.
We had like 2 hours for the rest of the session, and the entire time was me talking about how absolutely absurd it is for there to be, you know, like approximately 9 times size difference
Watering time. Watering time.
between, you know, sentient races and stuff.
Hope it comes out okay.
And for them to like have like the same hotel rooms, like a human and a 9-meter tall orc could not, you know, be expected to use the same bed.
I hope it comes out okay. You're big and strong, okay?
And
No
even
kidding.
then, 9-meter tall with a 10-meter tall, not just the room, but like the room and all the stuff between the rooms, because in buildings there's space between the rooms for like pipes and whatnot. which for 9
Yeah.
meter tall beings would be pretty darn thick pipes. So they wouldn't even be able to fit in the 10 meter tall, story. One story.
Yeah.
You're big and strong, okay?
Yeah, that,
Yeah. I,
and then, so it was me being all incredulous about this whole thing, and yeah, no, look in the books, it says that orc's only 9 feet tall, while the DM is calling me names the entire time.
You're big and strong.
Me being incredulous about the DM who can't tell the difference between, feet and meters, and unless they want to calculate that I take, lethal falling damage if I don't do the thing that they tell me that I must do. Gosh, sometimes I've just been in these, tabletop games, and it would just be a better choice, just drop everything. It's like, okay, DM, why don't you describe what all of our characters do, and we'll just sit here and listen to this audiobook. Because that's what you want to do, right? Just narrate an audiobook for us? If I'd known that this was going to be an audiobook session, then I would have brought a book to read.
Watering time. I hope it comes out okay.
Get it? Because not only is it saying, hey, screw you for taking away my agency as a player, but also, you're doing a bad job of it.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if the DM wants to take complete player character control. And of course, in Shadowrun, there are a few things
Watering time.
that didn't get, properly fulfilled. Because, splat books and stuff, not everything is totally described.
Strong, okay?
There was one thing that was, weapon. You can, make weapon and either have them hooked into, your forearms or hooked, into your back. But I think, what is it? If it's in your forearm, it holds, 2 uses. If it's in your back, it holds, 5. You can't use them to, swing, but you can use them to, climb up stuff. But I've totally missed out on, was it how long it takes to regenerate it or something? So I had to, ask the people on the West Marches server. There are dozens of DMs there. Not a single one of them could give me an answer for this. They had homebrewed 1,000 things in and out and about and around the rules. Not one of them had an answer for that. And it's hey, I really, I took to the BioWare like crazy. I love that BioWare. That is a BioWare. I want to use it. Apparently basically nobody else ever uses the BioWare in Shadowrun. I saw it and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. I want BioWare stuff. Everyone else wanted,
What do you want with an Edmonton-based gaming company?
Hey, everyone else
Yeah.
wants cyberware, cyberpunk type stuff. I wanted BioWare. It's cyberpunk stuff, but it's biological and fleshy, and you can have some character creation without taking away your ability to use magic. Or apparently the game got in trouble at some point, whatever, for insinuating that people with prosthetics are less human. Is there another thing I maybe never actually mentioned about?
What?
Okay, so in Shadowrun you have, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a personality, score. All of your stats, I think, start at, no, was it? You have a humanity score, basically. It starts at 6, but as you get cyberware and bioware, it starts going down. The higher quality stuff you get, the less penalty to humanity you take. If you get low quality goods, it goes down faster. To try to encourage people to pay the extra money on good quality stuff. So, and of course, some cyberware can just be stuff oh, you got a prosthetic arm. Having any sort of a prosthetic arm in this game gives you a penalty to humanity.
Nice.
If your humanity, as your humanity goes down, so does your ability to cast spells. Essentially, if you want to be a good mage, you keep that humanity score at 6, no matter what. If you want to be any sort of a mage, again, people will call you a moron if your humanity is anything less than a 6. However, since this applies to all sorts of, say, prosthetics, it has the implication that in the real world, someone who, say, lost an arm and uses a prosthetic arm is less human than someone who has, say, lost an arm and doesn't use a prosthetic. That it's not the losing an arm part that makes you less human, it's having a prosthetic makes you less human. Was the implication that the game pushes forward. And, like, on the one hand, it's a game. Who cares what a game says? Right? Like, they also say that wearing leather makes it harder to cast a like, D&D says that wearing leather makes it harder to cast a magic by, like, 5 or 10%, depending on if it has rivets. Like, so what if this one game says that having a prosthetic makes you less human? It doesn't make it true. But people actually got mad at it because of that.
Honestly, the only thing that the way that I would interpret it is that in Shadowrun, clearly all of the prosthetics clearly have to be designed specifically to make it obvious that they are prosthetics. Meaning that the prosthetics are, by design in Shadowrun, meant to look inhuman. For some reason.
In Shadowrun, there's also the implication that people are chopping off perfectly healthy limbs to get prosthetics, and someone would have to have lost some of their humanity to be willing to do that. Someone had actually made, like, the argument, I don't know if it's some random person or someone who, like, works for the game, that, no, prosthetics that only just re-emulate, like, the lost limb or whatever don't lower your humanity at all. It's just prosthetics that amplify stuff you wouldn't normally already have. Also, I was incorrect about the leather and standard leather stuff. When I say 5 and 10%, it's 10 and 15%. It's still a 5% distance.
Yeah. Well, I think the explanation for that is that the leather itself just means that it's harder for you to move, and thus it's your body is slightly stiffer. Like, usually not enough to make much of a difference, but enough that, if you make a mistake, it's just like you can't easily correct it, like with your emotions and all that stuff. However, I think with the metal thing, I think the implication there is similar to what's goes on with druids. That basically, literally, metal interferes with magic.
I will say, I have worn a chainmail shirt before. It's easier to move my limbs in a chain shirt than it was in leather.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that the only explanation that makes sense is that metal literally interferes with magic.
Except it doesn't. Druids are not allowed to wear metal because of random druid stuff. If an arcane... Okay, first of all, if a divine sorcerer, a divine spellcaster, like a cleric, does not care about their armor, they can wear full plate and they are fine. Notably, half plate messes with your spells more than full plate. It's easier to cast arcane spells in full plate than it is in half plate.
I can think of one explanation for that, is that because the full plate is covering your entire body rather than just part of it, that the weight of the armor is more evenly distributed on your body.
They are the same weight. However...
Yeah, so if they're the same weight, but one of them actually covers your whole body... Wait, if they're the same weight, then that means the half plate is actually... should be...
thinner.
Like, thicker and heavier, yeah.
They are the same weight, so yeah, half plate would have to be thicker. But, which is another thing. But also, it is possible to make an arcane spellcaster in D&D, 3rd edition or 3.5 edition, that does not care one iota about arcane spell failure chance. And that's to use spells that do not have semantic components. If you do not use a semantic component, you do not care about the arcane spell fail chance.
Wait, and that's actually in the rules?
That is in the rules. The
Okay, so yeah,
failure
so
chance is only if you use a somatic component. If you move while you're casting.
okay, in that case, the whole thing with between leather and studded leather, the rivets are that the rivets are heavy enough to throw off balance.
I mean, it's enough rivets to give you half as much protection as the leather part itself. Plus 2 AC versus plus 3 AC. The difference between the leather and the studded leather is enough that the armor now actually penalizes you when you try to do things. It's 5 pounds heavier. Yeah. That's just not 5 pounds of rivets, because it's also about the leather part that the rivets are taking up. But still, 5 extra pounds distributed along you.
That is a good point. But what if the rivets were made of mithril?
You see, that's the thing. That would not actually make a difference because the bulk of that armor is made out of leather, not metal. So making the rivets out of mithril doesn't do anything. Just like how having a chain shirt that's made out of mithril, I mean, you still have your penalties to it.
But
like,
they're reduced because mithril weighs less.
Yeah.
I was saying that mostly as a joke, because I mean, who would waste mithril to make rivets for like studded leather rather than just making it into a chain shirt?
So, like, a mithril chain shirt, not only would that cost an extra 1,000 gold pieces for mithril, whatever. Let's see, spell failure chances are decreased by 10%. Maximum dex decreased by 2, armor check penalties by 3. So a mithril chain shirt. So mithril chain shirt versus mithril chainmail. There's only a few differences between the two. All for the chainmail to give +1 to AC. Still get 2 higher dex bonus with the chain shirt. 2 higher armor check penalty, or a bit 2 better. 0 armor check penalty with the mithril chain shirt. 10% spell fit. Like, I see stuff like this and I start thinking, oh, I kind of want to make like a wizard or a sorcerer who uses like heavy armor. Maybe also a tower shield. Having a tower shield by itself gives you a arcane spell fail chance of 50% that stacks with armor. You have a tower shield and half plate, 90% spell fail chance. Just having a shield in one arm makes you 50% of your somatic spells completely fail, even though you only have to have one hand free to use somatic spells. Having this shield in your other hand screws you up so badly that you can't cast with your free hand half the time.
Oh, and I presume also if you use the meta magic still spell,
yeah,
that also makes it that who cares what armor you're wearing? The magic sure doesn't.
Yeah, armor interferes with the gestures that a spellcaster must make to cast an arcane spell that has a somatic component. But then it says, a character who casts an arcane spell while wearing armor must usually make an arcane spell fail roll.
Well, yeah, usually because most arcane spells do have somatic components.
In that same paragraph, if the spell lacks a somatic component, however, it can be cast with no chance of arcane spell failure. So again, just have a wizard or a sorcerer. No somatic components in their spells, which means they can just stand, behind a tower shield, casting magic. And, like, I kind of want to make that as a character because I think that would be kind of neat.
I agree, that would be kind of neat.
Hey, remember a few days ago I had that idea about roguelite D&D? You want to just try to do that together and make characters like Heavy Armor Wizard? I'm sure DM-less D&D is possible. I'm sure I can set up. That would be kind of fun to do, don't you think? Just make funny little characters.
I mean, here's the thing. As I've said before, what I like about D&D is making characters.
Making the characters, yeah. We make the funny little characters. Spend all this time making them. Spend probably less time playing them. And then we get to make more characters.
If by less you mean 0.
I think it sounds like a fun time to be had. So, I'm thinking for my first character, hear me out, 27-foot tall ogre. 9 meters tall ogre. What do you think?